This kick can decide it all. The nation holds its breath. Yes, we're there!
Hi and welcome back to the podcast. Today we're talking about a 26-year-old central defender, Kevin Toner, who currently plays in Spain for third division side. They've just been relegated. Nucia in the this season just gone third division, now fourth division for the coming season. He's born on the 18th of July 96 in Ashburn, County Meath. He comes from a very sporting family. His dad has a footballing background. He was a pro footballer for Drogheda, Shelbourne, League of Ireland, and also Mansfield in England. His mother, a golfer, and uncle, a jockey. He himself, Kevin, started his career at local team Ashburn United, and from there went to top youth side Home Farm as a 13-14-year-old in 2010. Home Farm, everyone in Ireland knows Home Farm as a historically another club that is a conveyor belt of talent at the very highest level. Names such as Kenny Cunningham, Richard Dunn, Gary Kelly, Ronnie Whelan and Johnny Giles, to name but a few, have come through their doors. So a long history there. In 2012, as a 16-year-old, Kevin left Home Farm and signed for Aston Villa, and he stayed at Aston Villa for 5 years, working his way through various youth levels and going on to represent the first team, albeit just 4 times, but it was in the Premiership. So yeah, he really got to the heights of football there. Now, you'd say maybe only 4 appearances, but he got there, and yeah, he was very young at the time. Maybe if that had come a few years later, it would have been a different story. And if things had gone a bit different, but anyway, we get to that. While he was at Aston Villa, he made 4 loan moves, which got him valuable first team senior football and experience. So he has had the experience in England. Loan spells while on the books of Aston Villa included Kidderminster Harriers, Walsall, Bradford City and Stevenage. All loans were brief enough at a much lower level, and didn't develop into a lot of playing time for the young defender, with the exception maybe of Walsall in League One, which is the third division in England, where he played 16 times for them. As said, he did play 4 times for Aston Villa. That was at the end of the 2015-16 season in the Premiership, when they were already relegated. It shows, basically there's fine lines in football. He was very young at the time, and a bit of luck can lead to a career in football, making it or breaking it. And relegation, obviously a bad thing for a club, but can work in the favour of a player, especially a younger player. Maybe gives them the opportunity. So Kevin could have really potentially have started to get playing time in the Championship when the bigger profile players of the relegated side moved on, went elsewhere, that were in his position ahead of him in the queue, and therefore giving him an opportunity to build on his 4 appearances and starting at a very good level, Championship level, for a very good side, Aston Villa, a very big side historically. So, and that would have given him the chance to show his ability, get regular football at a high level, great club. But unfortunately, in his case, it didn't go that way. The new manager that came in, he went with, he wanted to bring in seasoned pros on good wages to try and get Aston Villa straight back into the Premiership, hence not really giving the youth much of a chance. And instead of it going in Kevin's favour when they got relegated, giving them opportunities, it went the other way and pushed them further down the pecking order, and he got further away from the first team. So yeah, that was unfortunate, and it's just that little bit of a look. Different manager would have had a different approach, or maybe even a different club if there was no money available. But anyway, so it obviously didn't work for Aston Villa either, because they didn't bounce straight back up, and were a few years in the wilderness in the Championship before they did. And regardless, Kevin Toner had left by then, a long time earlier. So on the 20th of December 2017, which is pre-season in Ireland, he signed for St. Patrick's Athletic on a 2-year deal. So there he was the mainstay in the St. Pat's team, playing week in, week out at only 21. Also couldn't have got off to a better start, scoring on his debut. Toner left St. Pat's at the expiration of his 2-year contract on the 26th of October 2019. It was reported there was a difference of opinion between him and the new manager, which may have been the reason he left. So maybe he would have stayed, maybe he would have, maybe he wanted to leave anyway. Who knows? But he did leave. Also, what he would have seen as a failure, Aston Villa not making it, coming back to Ireland, then maybe not getting the confidence from the new manager. It took a toll on him. You'd imagine that's fair enough. As a young player, he still was only 23. So there was the mental battle you had to fight there too, and those things are hard at any age, but at a younger age, you don't know what life's about, and it's hard not to take things personal and get down about things, and it's not what you expected. And so there probably would have been other League of Ireland offers for his services, as a now seasoned League of Ireland pro. However, a month later he signed for non-league side Kilmore Celtic. Didn't make any appearances for them. It was short stay. You'd imagine he moved there more to stay fit while he assessed his next move. He never made an official appearance for Kilmore, and then moved to Spain for more work, family reasons outside of football, pretty much deciding to call time on his career at 23, which to people looking from the outside sounds crazy, but like, you're an established League of Ireland player, you've played at the top in England, that very few people get to, and so you're calling time on your career more or less unofficially, I suppose. That's it must have been a tough time for him, basically, would be my reading of it. But however, on the 17th of September 2020, the now Spain-based 24-year-old signed for newly promoted 3rd Division team in Spain, Nucia. Again, my pronunciation of any foreign language is horrendous, so I apologise to anyone from that team or area for mispronouncing the name of the club, and I will be going to confession to repent. But he remains there to this day, almost 3 years later. To this date, almost 3 years later. Internationally, he has represented. He has yet to represent the senior Irish team, but he has represented Ireland at youth level throughout the levels, under 15s, 16s, 17s, 19s, and has been in the under 21 squads. So now, as a 26-year-old going on 27 next month, his focus will be on club level. Again, I don't know about him, but most people, again, looking from the outside, is going to say, yeah, well, he's never going to be in the Irish team. Senior setup, those days behind him. that wouldn't necessarily be true. Wouldn't necessarily be a fact. So hopefully he gets to a potentially higher level and gains the attention of the Irish media and the senior management. Like, there's a lot of spotlight now. That's what we, not that we're a major media outlet, but in the media in Ireland, there's a lot of interest in people that are going outside the usual path of just going to England. So the spotlight is going on, where do Irish players play that maybe they wouldn't. So if he got to the second division or even La Liga in Spain, he's going to come to, not that he's not known in Ireland, but the wider media, the casual fan, he's going to come to that kind of spotlight, and once the spotlight's on him, he's doing well somewhere, opportunities are going to come. And what those opportunities are, obviously, who knows, but so yeah, he's only 26 going on 27. There's lots of people that have, played for Ireland later on in their career. So yeah, it's definitely not a fact he will never play for Ireland at a senior level. He's very experienced, seasoned pro at this stage, both in Ireland and abroad at various different levels. At club level, Nucia has remained in the third division in Spain throughout his time at the club until this season. Of course, they were relegated and will now play in the Spanish fourth division next season. Again, like Aston Villa, that could lead to opportunities for him. He has again remained a permanent fixture in the first team for Nucia, playing 72 times, scoring twice in 2.5 seasons, and is highly thought of and respected by club and fans alike. While the third division in Spain might not arguably be considered as good as the third division in England from various viewpoints, probably most arguably in particular financially, it's still, the third division in one of the best leagues in the world. So it's still a very good place to be. Also a great platform to be for the soon 27-year-old. He's now an established player in Spain. There is potential moves there for him, perhaps into he has a year left on that contract with Nucia. But if he was to move, there's potential moves, and he's seasoned in the third division. He could definitely do it in the second division in Spain. Elsewhere in Europe, of course, in the UK too, you'd imagine. Perhaps he wouldn't want to go back there. I don't know, because I never really get why it's such, other than the financial side of it, why it's such an attractive place to go for people. I prefer to be in good weather, but maybe that's just because the grass is always greener on the other side. But you'd imagine that if a good financial package was offered to him, he would consider a move. And again, perhaps if he moved to the Spanish second division, he could perhaps get promoted to La Liga with whichever team that is, or he could come to the attention of a La Liga side or equivalent side in a top European league. Nucia themselves would not appear to be anywhere getting near the second division anytime soon, as they've just finished in 17th out of 20 teams and relegated to the fourth division in Spain. So again, sad for the club to be relegated, but that's an opportunity for Kevin. All in all, it would appear the time is right to move on. And as hard as that may be for him to consider leaving a place he's highly thought of, he obviously likes, and he's respected there, and he's been playing week in, week out. But, this is his chance now to, if they had stayed there as his comfort zone, might have been even harder to go, but they've gone down in the league now. He's probably thinking to himself, I love it here, I'd love to stay, but I can't justify this for my career at this vital point. So another potential avenue may be a reserve team of a La Liga side, which potentially could lead to an opportunity in a La Liga side itself, because a lot of La Liga side B teams playing in around those leagues. So, if he joined a La Liga B side reserve team in Spain, he's a seasoned 27-year-old veteran with Premiership experience as well, Irish Premier Division experience, European club football, and Spanish week in, week out football. The timing might just be perfect if the right opportunity arises, resulting in him getting the chance to shine at the very highest or just below it level, which will be seen by the very highest level. As said earlier, when at Aston Villa, relegation didn't give him the opportunity he probably should have had at that time. But this time he's older, more experienced, wiser, seasoned, and has gone through those things before and those tough mental battles. So he knows the lie of the land better than anyone. This time he's played at the highest level in football, and perhaps this is his time, and this time he will make his own opportunity and look, and who knows, he may very well be the first, he may very well be a La Liga Irish international player in the not too distant future, and if an opportunity to fulfill that arises, he would surely grab it with both hands, you'd imagine. So this summer, pivotal point for his career, without putting pressure on himself. I'm sure he realises that. And he does have a year left, as I said, on his contract. Runs out in June 24, but perhaps there was a relegation release clause, or maybe he can come to an agreement that is suitable for both him and the club without putting a big transfer fee or whatever on his head that rules out a move. So it's not a bad position to be for a player who 3 years ago, albeit retired from football at 23, now exciting times lay ahead, and hopefully in the not too distant future for the player, and happy Irish fans will be watching and hoping he turns into a senior Irish international in the near future too. Whatever happens, we'll be watching.